My dog decided to bark. Hi, welcome to the Divine Alignment Masterclass. I'm so glad to be here with you today. There might be more people joining while we start, but you're in time. I respect that. Don't mind the barks in the background. I'm just gonna let them guide us, and I'm gonna tell my dog to stop. Great, we're back. So today in the Divine Alignment Masterclass, I want to share with you the 5 energetic and mindset shifts I did and I made in my life in order to step out of my limited self, step out of the reality that was limiting me, and start attracting my desires and actually live in divine alignment, receive guidance from my guides, the universe, and actually manifest my desires with ease. So today is all about that. Let me know in the chat if you're ready to learn about this. Drop a yes in the comments. I want to know your excitement because I'm so pumped about this subject. To do a little backstory, I wanted to create a free offer this month to just build up some magic, create more momentum, and just remind all of us, of this beautiful and powerful magic that we all have. And so the name Divine Alignment came to me because it's really what I'm all about. I'm going to tell my dog again. Let me come back. Because if not, it's going to be a long masterclass. And we're back. So Natalia said, ready. Marisa said, so excited to learn and expand. Yes, that's why we're here. And Alexi said, ready too. We're all ready, so let's do it. So you are here. You said it in the chat because you know you want to live in divine alignment. I'm pretty sure you've felt the calling many times, maybe in the past month, in the past years, in the past week, but you know deep in your heart that there's so much more to life and you're ready to start creating that and start living in divine alignment, so your life becomes as easy as can be and you can blow your own mind, because literally the living in divine alignment is all about defying all odds and blowing your mind every single day. And not alone, with the help of the divine, the universe, God, however you want to call it. This is an energy that is here right now to help us. And so I know that deep in your heart, you're ready to dive deep and live in alignment with your highest good. So let's go in it. So your goal right here, if you're here right now, and my goal for you, my goal for my life, is to create my most aligned life every day and manifest what I want with ease. That's the vision for my life. That's the vow I made to myself a few years ago in 2020. And I was over playing small. I was over limiting myself and not actually living to my full potential. And so this is my vision for here today, right now, and for the rest of my days, is to actually create my most aligned life in every situation, every season, so I can actually manifest what I want easily. And I'm so grateful that you're here right now, because if you're here, you answered the divine calling. You heard it. Hi to the people joining. You heard the divine calling, you felt the divine calling, and you answered the call. So you being here right now is a huge step, because there's thousands of people literally that saw my announcement for this masterclass And still there's 30 of you that sign up in less than 3 days, because it was really short notice, I would say. But I knew that the people that were meant to be here would be here and will listen to the replay, will consume this content, because you are ready to answer the call. You are here by synchronicity. It's not a coincidence. And I want you to know that, because it may seem like a usual thing or normal thing to assist to a free masterclass, but creating this masterclass, I put a really specific intention in it, and I created this space with a really specific energetic intention, and it was to calling the soul aligned souls that were ready to devote themselves to their highest good and to commit to manifest their dream lives. And so if you're here, you heard me, you heard the divine calling, and you sign up and you're here, and I'm so proud of you, because this is a really big step. Drop a yes in the comments if you feel this, if you felt the call and you're feeling the excitement and the passion of what's to come. Drop a yes in the comment to let me know. And if you answer the call, it's also because you're ready to let go of doubt, fear, and uncertainty. You want to learn and simple ways. Yes, Marissa, yes. So you want to learn simple ways to step out of your yes of your limited self, and want to know how to actually align with your higher self on a daily basis. So today, that's what we are doing. I'm going to share with you the daily practices I use to actually call in my desires, let go of my ego, limited self, and start calling in more magic, more abundance, and be in my most magnetic energy, because this is all about it. And finally, when you step into your most divine self, then you gain so much confidence, so much trust in yourself, because you remember your power, you remember who you are, and you remember that you actually already have everything that you need to create your most aligned life. And that's my main prayer for you today, is for you to remember who you are. So, a little backstory, if you're new to my world, if you have been following me for a while, maybe you've heard this story. If not, I'm just going to tell it for the people watching the replay, or the ones who are the first time coming in my experiences. In 2014, I broke up with my first boyfriend, which was a really toxic relationship. And after the breakup, during the relationship, I was in so much stress that I was really, really skinny for a long time. And the moment I broke up with him, my body just did a thing to try to protect me. And the moment I started eating normally again, and I gained back my appetite and everything, I just gained 40 pounds like in less than 3 months. And at first, I didn't really realize until I couldn't fit in my clothes anymore. And then at the moment, I had a really hard wake-up call of being like, oh my God, what happened? I don't understand. And I was really lost in the why and how that happened. And I spent the next 6 years, literally the next 6 years, trying to lose that weight. I did everything you can imagine, drink detox teas, buy the magic weight loss pills that were so hot in that time at the beginning of Instagram, do intense cardio sessions, all you can do to lose weight. And still I had no results. And in 2017, if I'm not wrong, or 2017, yeah, I came back from a spring break with my friends from university in an all-inclusive resort. And all we did there was drink, eat, drink, eat. And after I came back from that trip, I remember I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I felt so disgusted, but not disgusted from my looks or my body externally. Of course, I was not pleased with that, but it was the first time in my life that I actually connected to that feeling of not feeling like my best self inside, not from the outside, because the 6 years prior to that, I was trying to do everything to change the outside. And at that moment, the feeling of discomfort, disgust, not feeling good in my body was so strong that I could not miss it. And I remember looking at myself and being like, I don't want to feel like this ever again. Like, this is too much. I'm over this. I can't do this anymore. And from that point on, my perspective started to shift, and it started to become natural for me to actually follow the things that were for my highest good, that felt good. And I stopped settling for the things that didn't feel good. And in less than a year, actually manifested my dream body, and it's been easy. I don't have to know what I need to eat. I just followed that intuitively. And it's been since 2021, I stopped working out. Before, working out was like my big thing. And since then, I haven't worked out, and I have worked out, but I don't have like a clear routine in the gym since 2021. I do yoga, I do more subtle stuff, and I haven't gained any weight back. I'm still in my shape. For sure, I've been in better shape before, like more tone and everything you can imagine. But the reality is that I'm really pleased with my body. I feel really pleased with my body, and it's no longer something that I chase externally. And this is the first quantum leap that I experienced from creating those energetic and mindset shifts. But since then, I've went from toxic relationship where I was abused emotionally, financially, psychologically, to manifesting my soulmate and being in the most healthy and conscious relationship where I'm literally celebrated and loved every day. And I was thinking while I was doing this masterclass, I remember when I first started coaching and I did my first masterclass live. I think it was 2018 or 19, and I was with my ex at that time. And for those who know me, you know that when I'm passionate about something, I go all in. I could talk about it for hours and hours and hours. And I remember there was like some technical issues at the beginning because it was my first time. And then I talked about what I wanted to talk. And it took more time that I told my ex that it would take me. Like, let's say it took 90 minutes instead of 60 minutes. And when I got out of my masterclass, I was so excited and so proud of myself for doing that. And his first response was like, what was it so long? What took you so long? And I remember like my excitement just crashed to the ground, and I was like, I felt bad for doing that. And today, my boyfriend come to my master classes, like cheers me up every day. Right now, he's not with me here. He's traveling. And like every day is like, I'm so proud of you. You go, girl, and all of the excitement. So if you've been in that situation too, of being like so not valued, this is a reminder that it can happen, because everything can happen. And so yeah, manifested my dream body, manifested my dream partner, and manifested my dream career. Today, I'm literally paid to be me. And before that, after university, I was thinking that I needed to find a job that will make me successful and that would make me a valuable citizen in the society by following the rules of society. So go to university, get a good grade, and then find a good job, and then give everything you can to prove yourself and prove everyone that you're good. And I also stepped out of that and created this community, and it's been magical. It's been so fulfilling, soul fulfilling, and heart filling. And I just love doing that. It's crazy. So this is a little backstory. There's so much more, but the main point, so you understand better why it's so close to my heart to talk about this today. So the first shift, if we go all in it, the first shift that happened for me is actually understanding this. Take notes, write this. fear will never disappear. For most of my life, even then when I was trying to lose weight, or with my ex, toxic ex, in any situation, I'm not going to name every one of them every time because you know the backstory, but as a general team, in every of those situations, when I was in the limited self perspective, I thought that in the future, something would change that would make that fear disappear, that discomfort, that, you know, that fear of like knowing that you want more, but you don't know how to get there. And so you're like, oh my God, I don't know. But it's so scary because I don't know, that I might fail, that I might look crazy, that I might look stupid, that I might don't know how, that never mind, I don't think it's for me, or maybe it's never gonna happen, I'm just fooling myself. And you come back to that limited perspective. Let me know in the comments if that has happened to you before, or if you're feeling like this right now. Let me know. There's no shame in that. There's no anything about that. It's part of our human experience. But in order to step back into our divine self, we have to see this reality for what it is. This is the thing. We have to start to see things for what they are and stop settling for the limit perspective of that reality. And the truth is that most people believe in that future time where things will be better, where they wish that things will be easier, they will be prettier and everything. So they are always living in the wish that one day the things that are here right now in their reality will vanish out of thin air because something magical will happen and then it's going to become easy. But that's the biggest illusion. In the spiritual community, a lot of people also talk about ascending into your higher self, ascending dimensions, ascending the 3D reality. But the truth is as well, is that as long as you are here on earth, living in the third dimension, you will always, always, always have an ego, because it's part of the avatar that helps you live this reality. You will never be without your ego, because if not, you're not here. You're in the angel realms. You are with your guides. You're back to source, but you're not here in the third reality, because it's all about understanding who you are through the ego and remember your power and where you come from. And so your ego will always be with you, and the fear, the human emotions like doubt, fear, discomfort, all of that will never disappear. You will never stop thinking thoughts that feel negative. You will never stop feeling emotions that feel negative or low vibes. It's part of the human experience. And so for me, that was my first shift. Instead of trying to escape those thoughts and trying that it's not possible because I need to erase all of this right here, right now, this reality, for my next reality to be possible. And I understood that actually stepping into my most divine self and calling in my desires is understanding my reality for what it is. And what it is right now is that the fear, the discomfort are the messengers are the flags letting you know that you're ready to up-level your reality. It is the energetic pressure letting you know that you're ready to expand. It's not here to compress you and constrict you and keep you small. It's here to challenge you so you burst out of that bubble. It's like, oh, I'm at the limit of the bubble. It's not to come back and retract. It's to continue to expand so the bubble grows. And so that the fear no longer stops you, but the fear helps you move forward. Because you know it will always be with you. So it becomes your friend. It becomes your friend. And so the first shift, to put it from a side-to-side perspective is, as I said, from that limit perspective in the past. I wish that in an arbitrary time in the future, things would be different. And now, where I live from and where my vision is towards to is my higher self perspective. And my higher self knows that all that is here right now has the portals, the bridges for me to up level to my next reality. The present reality is the bridge to my next best reality. It will never be anything different because the present moment is giving me all the information I need to know to discover the portals, to discover the energy, the skills, the knowledge that I need to create my next best reality. So if I continue to live from a limited self perspective, I would always be trying to escape this present reality. And so I would be losing all my energy. And I would be missing all the portals, the bridges, the doors that are here right now to help me actually move to my next reality, to expand, to grow, and to create what I want. So that's the first shift. Let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you, if you feel like this is the shift that you need or a shift that you need to incorporate in your life so you can start manifesting your dreams. Drop a yes in the comments. Yes, I'm loving this. Love it. Thank you. But wait, there's more. The shift number 2 is understanding that the why will forever be more important than the how. When we think of manifesting whatever we want, let's say a partner, let's say money, let's say an experience that we are waiting for a long time now, whatever it is. When you think about, oh, I would love to be in a healthy and loving relationship, I would love to know what real love is. And then you're like, but how am I gonna find it? Do I have to go to a coffee shop? It means that I have to download Tinder, or I need to do this, I need to do that. Because if I don't do that, then it's not possible. How am I going to find it? So we right away go into the how is it gonna happen? How? We want to know what we need to do in order to make that possible. Our brain there goes to the what to do. But this is limiting you because it's never about the actions you take. It's never about it. I told you at the beginning, for 6 years, I did more extreme things, more intense things to lose weight than I did when I actually lost all the weight and manifested my dream body. It felt much more easy. It felt much more simple than before. And I had all the results. And I did all the actions and I didn't have any results. Why? Because of the why. Because I didn't know why I wanted it. And the why is the energetic intention behind your actions. If you don't know why you're doing it, then your actions, whatever you do, will never be in alignment with what you truly want. And the why is important to understand as well, in terms of like, the why is not related to the material realm. The why is related to your higher self, to your soul. Who are you going to become once you have that thing? What are you going to gain from a spiritual perspective, from an energetic perspective, not the material thing? Because the material thing alone will never fulfill you. And so if you know what you want to gain in your heart, in your soul, then it becomes easy to know how. Because you're being guided from that same energy. You're so connected to the reason why it's so important for you to experience that thing, that once you connect to that energy, then the end result, the desired reality, is calling you because you're tuning into the same frequency. The limit self believes it will gain happiness, success, love once it has manifested the thing in the material realm. Your higher self knows that your desired reality is already real because it's in all possibilities. It's in the quantum field of all possibilities. And so your higher self is always tuned into that frequency, to that bubble, to that quantum field, because the quantum field is the thing that is connecting all of us together. Everything, the trees, the animals, the elements, us, our thoughts, our ideas, everything. And so it would be really limiting to believe that we are separate from what we want. Because if we're separate, how we do we connect? How we do make it real if we're separate? We would have to find a magic thing to create a connection with it. When in truth, when you are truly attuned to that energy, then the connection is already made. You realize you didn't have to make the connection. You just had to turn your attention from what do I need to do to what is that? Is it that I'm going to gain from this? Why do I want to do this? What is my why of attaining this thing, achieving this thing, creating this reality? And you will quickly realize that your why is more often than not, when you are again thinking from a higher perspective, that it will be an emotion, a state of being. And emotions are energy in motion. And so it's literally the frequency of your dream. So my intention for creating this masterclass, I told you in the beginning, was to attract and share my message with the soul aligned people that were ready and committed to create this. That was my intention. Because I know in my heart what it is to be in the perspective of my limited self, and know when in the moment that started to shift for me was the moment I actually was actively committed and devoted to creating that. And that little shift, I know it, and I know what it feels to be in that place of being like, okay, I'm ready, I want it all, I want to experience it, and I know it's gonna happen, and I trust. And so that was my energy. And so from that energy, I trusted that everyone that needed to hear this, that needed to be here today, and that needed to hear this message, even if it's the replay, that those people would be guided to me, and that my message would be guided to them, to you, to everyone who's here. And as you said in the beginning, you answered yes to all my questions because you were in divine alignment, in the frequency of that intention. And I didn't have to understand how. I didn't think I had to think about the how. I was just like, I'm going to share it. And of course, I took actions from there. But it was an action that was inspired from my why, not an action to understand how to get there. Because you will never know until you are there. So how do you get there without knowing? You tune into the absence of that reality. The present, sorry. Let's reframe that. You tune into the presence of that reality. And it comes from your why. So let's see that side by side. Again, from a limited self perspective, the limited self perceives success as an end goal and a destination, a place to get to. And the higher self knows that your success, your fulfillment, your wholeness is a frequency, because you are not separate from anything. You're always connected to the quantum field of infinite possibilities that where your dreams reside. And so your higher self actually uses that energy, that emotion, that why, that frequency to get to the end as a mean. So it's not only the end, you don't only experience it once you achieve that thing. So I'm not only experiencing that, oh my God, I know that people are here, that excitement, that passion, that love that I wanted to share because I've experienced that in my life, that magic. I'm not only experiencing it here now, but while I was doing this presentation, while I was doing my stories, I was in that energy. I knew that this is why I'm doing it. And so I use it as a mean to get here. And the same thing for achieving my dream body and manifesting my dream partner. It was like, I can feel it because I know it exists. And so I'm feeling it right now and it's real for me because I know it's here. I know it's here. And I'm just letting myself be guided from that divine alignment to get there in time, in due time. The next shift was to understand that I'm not my thoughts. I am the connection that I create with my thoughts. I finally understood the power of the why. Thank you. I heard it a lot, but never fully understood. Yay. I'm so grateful that you understand and so happy that it resonates now because it's a game changer. It's a game changer. So I can't wait to see how all the other shifts will take form together because all of these mental and energetic shifts are separate, but they are not. They all complement each other and they all build up on each other. And you will understand that as we get to the end. They all have a connected point to each other. And I could have done like 20 shifts, to be honest. And so I wanted to make it as easy as you can to actually grasp this energetic imprint, mental imprint, so you can reproduce it in your life easily. Same as Alexi, I think I found why some things have not progressed the way I wanted. Yay. That was my intention here, for you to actually see how you can start shifting things. So that makes me so happy. And I can't wait to see how all of your lives, Jessica as well, will start shifting after this masterclass. Because I told you, you're here right now because you're in that attunement. And now that you are in that attunement, you're receiving all the energy. I don't work only in the physical realm. I work in all realms. And so you being here right now, you're not only receiving my words and the knowledge from the slides, but you're also receiving that frequency and the shifts from that frequency. So to continue with the shift number 3, you are not your thoughts, you are the connection you create with your thoughts. I'm going to say it again. You are not your thoughts, you are the connection you create with your thoughts. And what do I mean by that? There's the belief that our thoughts create a reality. And at some level, it is true. But this is only a surface level understanding of what's truly happening. It's only a surface level understanding. It doesn't mean it's false. I'm not saying that your thoughts don't really create your reality. They do create your reality. But just that is the surface level understanding of what's really happening. So you are actually, and your reality is the manifestation of the connection, the alignment you create with your thoughts on a daily basis. Your limited self believes all the thoughts because your limited self think it's separate from everything. And because it believes it's separate, every time you think about connecting or moving towards your desired reality. When there is one thought that goes in contradiction with your desire to go there, and because you believe it, that separation, then you're like, oh, it's true, I'm separate from that. That's not true. That's not possible for me. So it means that what I just thought here, that thought that just came into my mind, I must look at it because I don't believe in this. It's separate from me. But here, it's me. It's part of my reality right now. So this must be more true than what's there. And that's the connection I'm talking about. Your connections with your thoughts, you're fueling the connections with your thought that fuel the reality you're in right now. You believe and relate to the thoughts that are linked to the limited self. And so, of course, your thoughts will create your reality because you continue to fuel those thoughts. And so for me, as an example, for the 6 years I tried to lose weight, I had that deep belief inside of me that I didn't have the genes to actually manifest a toned physical body to have abs. As long as I can remember, I've been really, really skinny, but I've always had that little pouch, at the bottom of the stomach, because #we are women. And so now I understand why physically we have that. But when I was a kid and growing up, I didn't understand initially. And I remember in my gymnastic class, we were like bodysuits, tights bodysuits. And I was pretty much the only one that had that little pouch. There was other people for sure, but I was in the minority of the ones that had that little pouch. Most people had a flat stomach. So since that age, I was, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I did 4 years of gymnastics. I just ingrained that thought in me of like, one day I was in my gymnastic class and I said to myself, oh, maybe I cannot have a flat stomach because I'm the only one who doesn't have a flat stomach. I just thought a thought that came to my mind. And from that day on, I believed it because I created that connection with it. I was like, oh, that's true. I don't have a flat stomach. So that must be true. They are born like this and I'm not. So I cannot have that. And for the next 20 something years, no, 18 to 20 something years, 15 years, sorry, my maths are not good. I continue to believe that thought. And in the long run, it became a belief. And I might just blow your mind today. So get ready. Let's take a deep breath in together. Exhale, because I might shift some things right here, right now. A belief is just a thought that comes automatically with a sense of certainty. Do you heard that right? A belief, that the things you believe in about yourself, about the world, are just thoughts, but instead of being normal thoughts, they automatically come paired with a sense of certainty. And so when you think that thought, and every time you think that thought and it comes into your awareness, you already believe it's true. And you've had certain beliefs that you don't have anymore. You've thought some certain thoughts that you know are no longer attached with that sense of certainty. Simple example, Santa Claus. If I talk about Santa Claus today, you're like, that's the story we were told when we were kids to blah, 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 blah. But at one time in your life, you heard the word Santa Claus and you were so excited for Christmas. And you were doing everything you could to be on the good kid list. Am I right? But one day, that certainty was fragmented and dissolved when you grew up and expanded your awareness of reality. And then you were like, oh, I can see now. Yeah, it's true. The Santa Claus of last year looked a lot like my neighbor. But at that moment, I didn't want to see it because Santa Claus. But now that I think about it, Santa Claus changed a lot of times, you know? And you start to see all the mismatch of information that doesn't make any sense, but in the moment where you were connected to that thought, it felt real. And so I wonder how many thoughts you're connected to. And not only the thoughts, that's not about it. What is the energetic connection you have with your thoughts? What is the connection fueling your thoughts? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it fear and doubt? Is it hate for yourself or your reality? Is it feeling not good enough? What is the texture, the energetic texture, the emotional texture of the connection you're creating with your thoughts on a daily basis? And that's what I want you to become aware of, to expand your reality and your awareness on. Just like you realize that Santa Claus was not real, then by bringing your awareness to how are you fueling your thoughts and what thoughts are you connecting with and relating with, then you'll start to sense that mismatch of information. Like for myself, the moment I started to shift my perspective, I was like, wait a minute, how come I'm telling myself that I don't have the genes to have a flat stomach when in reality I just want to lose 40 pounds? But I've seen people lose 300 pounds, like on, I don't remember the show, like Survivor or any shows that there's a program for obese people and actually lose weight and get in shape. And I used to watch that. And I've seen things on Instagram, physical transformation, where people that started way further than me and that maybe never experienced being slim or skinny in their lives did it. And so I was like, wait a minute, if a lot of people do that and have done that, why wouldn't that be possible for me? I just want to lose 40 pounds. I just feel like 40 pounds is my overweight because I've experienced myself before and I know what I weigh now, and that's the gap. And so in that moment, I started relating and creating the connection with my thoughts that it was actually possible for me. And so the thoughts of like, you don't have the genes. Oh no, you're not lucky. That the person that you saw with the 6-pack, then she's born like this and you didn't come to earth like that. So it's not possible for you. Those thoughts became a lot less appealing because I was like, wait, what? No, I know because I've seen other people. So then I started to see the evidence of my desired reality instead of using stories and narratives that were supporting my limited self. And that's the difference. You are not your thoughts. You are the connection, the energy you're fueling, and how you're relating to your thoughts. Because how you relate to your thoughts is how you relate to yourself and is how you relate to life. And so the same connection you're fueling with your thoughts, you're fueling with your reality. And so if you're fueling your desired reality more than you're fueling your limited perspective, then there is no other thing to do than for that reality to be manifested. Like attracts like. And so again, it's not about erasing your thoughts, changing your thoughts, making them disappear, because if we come back to the shift one, you will always have an ego. And so those thoughts will come by your awareness, in your awareness, time to time. But instead of believing them immediately and connecting to that and being like, oh yeah, I know, and fueling that story and creating more stories and more scenarios that fit that storyline, that thought, you actually let it pass by and you're like, yeah, no, I know this is better, that feels better, so I'm going to focus on that story instead, that I have what I need to create that actually energy creates everything. And so if I focus on this and I get caught up in that story of my limited perspective, that is what I'm going to create, because that's the connection I have with life. I know that energy is more powerful than matter, because matter is just a reflection and a manifestation of energy. So from the limit self perspective in the shift number 3, I went from believing every thought, narrative, and story that was going through my mind, and that was most specifically fitting my present reality, limited present reality. And instead, I started to connect with my higher self that knows that everything that I think is just an observation, because I'm the thinker of the thoughts. I'm not the thoughts. The thoughts are not me. They don't mean anything about me or my reality. It's just a thought. And the moment it becomes real is when I attach a sense of certainty to it, and I start to believe it. And because of that, I went from believing all the thoughts that supported that limited perspective in reality to moving and supporting only the thoughts that were supporting my desired reality. Jessica said, I relate to this specific situation as I'm on this boat, actually, been for quite a few years without success. How do you keep believing in the new thought? One day I could be thinking there's no way that will happen to me, doubt and fear. And then I think, why not shift? And then a few days later, I come back to the initial doubt and fear thoughts. So it's a really good question. I'm going to answer right away since we're in. Think of it of like your unconscious mind works like this, and energy works like this too. So think of going into a path where like there's a lot of, you're in the forest and there's trees, there are bushes, there's like, I forget the word, grass, grass, like long grass, and there's no path, there's no trail, and there's one trail. And so you see the trail, and in this way it's just like grass and trees and bushes and stuff. So people, when they look at it, they will right away go into the trail that it's already there. And so in our reality right now, we go to the trail that we know that is there. So it's fear, doubt. I don't have that reality. I'm separate from my dreams. I don't know how I can get there. But when you start shifting your reality, you're like, you know what? I've always taken this route, and I know now because divine guidance brought you here and informed you of this reality. I'm the messenger, but it's the universe talking to you. I made this masterclass to answer a calling that I received, and I followed it, and I know I was just the in-between person to deliver this message, because maybe you've received it internally, but you didn't hear it. And so now I'm the physical matter example evidence of that information that is delivered to you. And so you know now that there's a new route that you can take that you don't know how it looks like. And you're like, you know what? I see flowers down there. I want to go this way. And so you start walking there. So by you walking on the grass is being stepped on. And the next day, someone comes and look, and there sees a path, and then there's a new freshly made path. It's not yet a path, but you can see that someone passed there. And then you inspire that person of being like, oh, you know what? I've always gone this way. Let's go this way. And I'm talking about person, but let's think about it about thoughts, the connection you have with your thoughts. The trails are the connections you have with your thoughts. So one day you go this way, the next day you decide to go this way. The next day you're like, oh, you know what? It's easier to go this way because the path is already done. So you go back to the old trail. But the more you go this way, the more other people go this way because they realize there's a new path, the more the path is forged. And the more clear it becomes, there is a new path created. You can see it. And so in terms of your thoughts in your brain, the more you shift that perspective, the more you're literally creating new synapses connections in your brain. You're literally moving your brain physically, and you're creating new synapses connections into that reality, because that route is your automatic pattern of thought. It goes to the end destination, which is fear, doubt. I don't know what to do. Let's come back to the limited self, to the comfort, to the safety of what I already know. That is the path of your thoughts. How can we support the reality that I know and that I'm comfortable in? The easiest way to protect that is to use fear with what could come against that reality. So your dream reality, a threat. It doesn't match the reality that I'm in and that it's comfortable. So what can I do? I'm going to send some fear and you're going to come back. But what I'm inviting you to do right now and laying the ground on with this shift is to actually put a stop in that path. So let's say a tree fell down in the path, and then the forest guys came and limited that trail. We can no longer there. It's not safe. There's a tree in between. So there's a stop sign and a new sign directing you this way. And the beautiful thing is that the more you see the fear as the stop, so it's like, fear. Oh, yeah, we're trying to stop me from going there and going to the old path. But now actually realize that the fear is the stop for me to stop going back to that old route and actually connect with the possibility of new realities instead of going back to the one that I know. And so instead of putting the stop sign here, you move it here. And you know that fear that you feel when you think about going somewhere else, creating your new reality, is just a sign for you to redirect, reshift, redirect, reshift, come back to the truth again, and come back again. And so at first, because your brain has been so used to go this way, of course, you will have good trolls, good days of like, oh, it's been 3 days. I'm going this path. It's been easy. I feel it. And then, oh, wait, I feel the fear again. The fear is just an invitation for you to reconnect again, for you to come back to your desire again, not to stop you from it. And of course, let's discern here that some things, fear is here to help us to be alive, to survive, to be protected. And so there's healthy fear and there's perpetual fear. You can feel fear for a moment in certain situations that is informing you that it's not the way to go. But how you know is the stories you're telling yourself. So if the story supports the reality that you already know, it's not a real fear. It's just something that you you learn to believe in. And so if you feel fear, at first, it's going to be again and again, you're going to feel fear, you're going to come back to the truth, you're going to feel fear, you're going to come back to the truth. But the more you do it, all of it to say that the more you do it, the more it becomes natural. And to come back to point one, it will never go away. It will never go away. But you redirect again and again and again, instead of stopping there and going the old route. You're just like, oh yeah, true fear. My ego is trying to protect me by keeping myself and holding me back in the reality that I'm comfortable in, that I know. But the fear is my friend. So I understand that in truth, the real truth of it is that I've been used to living this way, but in my heart, I know that I no longer want this reality. And so I'm not going to let the fear stop me. I'm just going to redirect to the frequency and the energy of my thoughts to feel that pull again. This actually makes a lot of sense. Thank you. You're welcome. It was a really important one. So hope this is hitting all the right places inside your consciousness. There's 2 left, and then a little surprise for you. So you're always divinely guided. You're always divinely guided. You're just not choosing to hear it or see it. This is one big shift that I had to come into realization. I used to feel like I was the victim of my circumstances, like, oh my God, I don't have the genes, so I cannot have the physical body that I want. All my partners in romantic relationships were like this, so maybe love is painful, and maybe love means to sacrifice myself in order to save someone else. I felt like the victim of my circumstances. But in the truth of it all is that I was divinely guided through it all. When I was doing cardio for 1 hour in order to lose weight, and I was feeling so, till this day, I hate running. I hate running. And when I lost all the weight and manifested my dream body, I think I stepped on a treadmill 10 times in a span of a year, less than that. And I would go on in the treadmill because I wanted to do some sprints or things like that. That felt good in the moment. But it was not part of my gym routine because I didn't like it. So I stopped doing things that were not there, were not for me. And all the time that I was forcing myself to love it and run and do it because it's the easiest way to lose fat, I was being informed that this was not the way for me. Like I felt it. It was like, oh my God. Or when I was in my toxic relationship and I was feeling lost and I was feeling, why does love has to be so hard? Why do I have to suffer? Why do I have to feel like this? Why someone who loves me would treat me like this? All of those questions and those confusions were divine guidance, letting me know that, wait, it's not a line. It's not a line. This is not a line. And so the divine guidance were letting me know by discomfort that there was a clash. There was a clash, and I felt it really, really clearly. But I just chose to not feel it, not hear it, not see it. I just chose to. And the problem is that the more you resist, the more it persists. Because let's say your divine alignment is this way. And then you start going a little bit south, like this. And then life tries to guide you back here and like, hey, wait, you're going the wrong direction. Come back. But you're like, no, I know what I'm doing. I'm just going to continue this way. And you're just creating a gap between your soul, between you and you. And so the more you're creating that gap, the more, literally, I see this now from the perspective of my guides and the universe, and it makes me laugh so hard because literally they're looking at us and being like, wait, what? I gave you the information. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Why do you have to wait? And so they have no choice, our guides, the universe, it makes me laugh, to create more resistance, more clash, more pain, more suffering for us to wake up and come back to the divine alignment. There's no choice. We're creating, literally, you not following what is aligned for you is creating impurity. And not in the sense of like evil, in the sense you're no longer in your pure essence. You're no longer in the essence of what's the best and what's the best for you and what is for your highest good. And by creating that impurity, the only way that your guides, your angels' life can bring you back into full purity is to clash that impurity. And often it takes a crisis in order to match the gap that you've created by not wanting to listen, to hear it, to be here right now with your truth. It has to match the frequency of the amount of impurity. The crisis needs to be the same amount, the same energetic level of that gap in order to be able to crush it and bring you back. And so for me, let's say in my toxic relationship, where I was giving him my money because he started playing gambling online and losing all his money, and I felt like I had to help him, and I would continue to give him money. I had to come to a point of like desperation of being like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I needed to get to that dark place in my life to actually wake up and being like, wait, this is not for my highest good. This is not how it's supposed to go. Like, this is not it. But I have to feel that intensity in order to come back. And the same thing when I look at myself in the mirror and felt so disgusted after 1 week of drinking and eating at an all-inclusive resort. It was just the drop that made the vase, the water overflow. It was just the last little drop that I needed in order to actually feel it. That I had no choice but to feel it, because like now the pain was not tolerable. And that's the thing, is that your limited self will convince you that you're comfortable in places that you're just learning to tolerate. Let's say it again. Your limited self will convince you that you're comfortable in places that you learn to tolerate. Yes, Jessica, yes. I get pumped about this because this is the truth. We choose not to hear, we choose not to see, because the new reality seems uncomfortable, because it's no longer the same thing that we're used to. And so for me, every time I would be like, a relationship is not like this. Like, is literally disrespecting you, is literally not seeing your value, you're not feeling love, you're not feeling appreciated, you're not feeling seen. What are you doing? This is not it. When you would call me names and make me feel like this big, I was like, my heart was like, get the F out. And every time I would be like, I had a dog with him, my dog I had with him, I was like, oh no, but Teddy, what would I do? We got it together. We've already talked about maybe having kids together. I have to move. Where will I go? And all of that storyline of like, oh, it's too uncomfortable, it's too big, I don't know. Oh no, it's okay. He was just mad. Oh, it's okay. It was not a good day for him. Tomorrow it's gonna be better. It's gonna change. And I would convince myself with the stories in order to stay in the comfort of not having to move, not have to figure out what we would do with our dog. And so that's the shift. Your limited self does everything it can to keep its attachments to what's comfortable, to your present reality. But your higher self knows that the unknown is literally the only place where your dreams exist. Because if it was comfortable, if it was already in your comfort zone, you wouldn't have to move. You will already have them. And so if you don't have them, it means that the only place that you can find them is going into the unknown. Because your limited environment of what you know it, and they're not there. So that means they're outside of that. And in order to get there, you must get outside of that comfort zone. And so you must cut and let go of the attachments that are keeping you in your little circle, in your little bubble. It's time to burst it out. It's time to burst it out. And the last shift, your unconscious mind is the bridge between you and the universe. And I would say that this is a good finishing one because it kind of integrates all the previous ones in terms of thoughts, in terms of energy, in terms of behavior pattern, thought pattern. This is what it is. Your unconscious mind is the bridge between you and the universe. And your unconscious mind is responsible of 95% of what you see in your reality, of your comfort zone. Because your unconscious mind is literally the compilation, the center in which all of your programs resides. How you see yourself, how you see the world, what you believe about the world, what you believe about yourself, your perceptions about reality. That's all ingrained in your unconscious mind. And your unconscious mind is no older than 7 years old. No older than 7 years old. Because between 0 and 7, you didn't have developed a critical mind yet. Meaning that between 0 and 7, your mind was a sponge and absorbing everything you were seeing or perceiving in your reality in order to start understanding and creating a map of the world so you could survive and live in that reality. You had to understand how this reality works. I'm going to create a map so I know how to be in relationships, how to be in life, how to be in school, how to be in here, how to do that. And so you were absorbing everything. And you were absorbing everything that you were seeing in your reality that would come from your authorities, meaning your parents, uncles, grandparents, if they were close, your teachers, all of that. But the truth is that as today, if you do the work on your unconscious mind, then you would be to the level that you're at consciously and in terms of awareness. Your unconscious mind is going to come back to your level of awareness today. But if you haven't not looked through the programs, unconscious programs, and maybe you're not even aware of them because you're unconscious. But maybe through this masterclass, you start feeling the nudges of like, oh yeah, wait, I actually do that. Oh yeah, wait, that's an energy that holds me back often. You're just putting light on it. It's becoming clearer because we're bringing what's unconscious to the conscious. And that's the only way to create lasting change, to make the unconscious conscious. Because when it's on your ingrained unconscious mind and running you, when it's running on autopilot, you don't have any conscious awareness of how it's happening, when it's happening, why it's happening. It's just running you. You're just doing things like that. For me, in terms of my relationships, my blueprint, what I learned is like, you have to sacrifice yourself. That is love. Life is about sacrifice. And you always have to think about the other person. You are not important in that equation, so you can give all you want. And that's what I was doing in my relationships prior to the moment that I chose, you know what, I'm over this. I know in my heart that love is not that. I remember I haven't not experienced it in this reality yet, but I feel the essence, I feel the remembrance in my soul that love is not this. And I chose to believe that instead. And I vowed to myself that never, never, never again, I would be with a narcissistic person or I would attract a toxic partner. Never again. And so because I made that unconscious conscious, it became clear to me that there was ways of beings, beliefs, and blueprints that were making me a match to that kind of partners. I had to take responsibility for that, of like, I'm creating what I'm asking for. And what I'm asking for is not necessarily what I think I'm asking for. You probably heard that before. You attract who you are, not what you want. And who you are is the unconscious programs that create your identity, that create your reality right now. And the beautiful thing about the unconscious and being the bridge between you and the universe is that because it's the bridge between you and the universe, it's also the main channel of communication between you and the universe. The connection I talked earlier about your thoughts is that connection of communication between you and the universe. And because the universe loves you and has your back, and because you have free will, it's always saying yes to the things you're saying yes to. But the problem again, you're not saying yes to the things you think you're saying yes to. You're saying yes to the things you choose to act on every day, whether you're conscious of it or not. The action and the energy you're in is the thing that you're saying yes to. And so because the universe always says yes, it delivers more of it. And then you think the universe doesn't love you, doesn't have your back, that is punishing you. But in truth, it's just giving you what you're saying yes to. And so this shift is actually taking responsibility for myself and understanding that I'm the only being responsible for my dreams. There's no miracle pill, no miracle Prince Charming or Prince Savior that will make it different for me. I am the one who creates my reality because my unconscious mind is my connection with the universe. My connection mind is the bridge between me and the universe. And so what I believe in, what I think, how I act, how I feel on a daily basis, how I interact with life is what I'm going to get back. And so from a limited self perspective, I would feel victim of my circumstances, situations, and my life. And then I chose to actually realize that I was the one attracting all of it. And I was the one who was creating all of it. And I know it may be a hard pill to swallow, and it doesn't mean there's no shame here, whatever your reality is right now. And when I look back to myself, I have no shame, no hate, no resentment towards the old version of me, because I was just doing the best I knew. I was just acting on my program. So how could I hate myself, resent myself for things I didn't know? And this is really important. And I'm sure someone needs to hear this today. That hate, the resentment, that guilt, that shame that you're feeling because you don't have what you want is just keeping you stuck. It's not true, because you're just doing the best you know right now. You're doing the best you can with what you have, literally. And so it's not about hating yourself, but more about inviting yourself to expand your awareness and to actually know more, know better. And when you know better, then you can do better. But it's not about hating where you are, because again, I told you, they all complement each other. Right here, right now is where you will find that knowledge, that wisdom, that energy, that pull to actually get to the next level, to your most divine self and to your most magical reality. There's no escaping. The only way is true. The only way is true. And it's through the feelings of discomfort, feeling them, welcoming them, embracing them, so they can help us find the gift that is present for us right here. So let me know in the comments if that's hitting you. And to do a little recap, your limited self perspective is thinking about your dreams. So thinking like you were watching a movie, thinking, you're away from your dreams and you're thinking about them. So you see them far away. When I know better, I will do better. Thank you for that phrase. I hold so much forgiveness for myself in that phrase. Yes, 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 yes. Forgiveness and acceptance is the way, clearly. It's the way to resolve all that resistance energy. It's actually being like, you know what? I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to assist you. I'm going to support you so you can actually show me what you're trying to tell me. And you have to stop putting all the weight of your shoulders on your shoulders, all the weight of the world into that resistance, into that hate. Because again, that resistance is here to inform you. It's the energy to bring back the purity of your soul, the purity of your path. So your limited self thinks about her dreams. Your higher self thinks from her dreams. Can you feel the difference? Your limited self thinks about her dreams, and your higher self thinks from her dreams, meaning that she immerses herself in the reality of your dream reality. She feels into it. She thinks from it. She perceives from that reality instead of being here and trying to understand what is in the unknown. It's being like, I know in my heart how it feels. What would it feel like to be in that reality? What would I see? What would I hear? And I immerse myself in that reality so I actually get the information. Your limited self is attached to the outcomes. Your higher self trusts the divine plan. Because every time comes in divine timing, and it's all about alignment. And not only about time, it's about alignment. Because time is irrelevant when alignment happens. And so it's about alignment, not so much about time, but the alignment comes in the divine plan, the timing. The limited self sources her self-worth outside by achieving things on the outside. When I have a partner, then I'll be lovable. When I'll make that much money, then I'll be successful. It's always with a condition that's outside of you. Your higher self serves her self-worth within because she remembers who she is. She remembers she's a divine creatrix, a soul that came here on earth to deliver its own magic. Literally, you are the universe in human form experiencing itself. We are literally all the universe experiencing itself. And because the universe is everything, it was like, what would it be to be everything? And then we came to be a little fragmented perception of the universe and know what it is to be Lina, to be Marissa, to be Jessica, to be Natalia, to be Alexi. The universe wanted to know what it would be like to be us and to be everything that we have to offer and to be this specific unique texture of energy, of capacity, of skills. But when we understand that, then we realize that we are the source. We're not only a fragmented perception of the universe, we're also the universe. And when we remember that, then there's no need to source our self-worth value outside of us because we remember it's already here, it's already there. The limited self focus on the material results, and the higher self focus on the inner callings. Again, the little flashing of information that the divine is giving us. Like for me, this masterclass came into reality because it was a conversation I keep having again and again and again. My one-on-one clients, all of my one-on-one clients, is about this work. They all came from different perspectives, different situations, different places in the world, but all in common was this. How do I get out of my limited self and how do I step into my higher self? I want to manifest my dreams. And again, people in my comments in my videos, always the same thing. And I was like, wait, there's a common thread here. If I listen, if I look at it, if I see it, I feel it, there is a need for that information. And so I heard that calling and I took inspired action through this. When it's coming, it's the end, but hi, Aurelia. We're almost done, but you can catch the rest in the replay, but there's more magic coming. So it's the right timing. It's the right timing. Limited self, sorry, only believes it when she sees it. And it's about, again, your limited self perspective, thinking it's separate from your dreams. Your limited self would be like, I'm only gonna believe it if it comes true. But your higher self knows that what you believe is what you create. What the connection and the texture of relating you create with your thoughts, it's what you will experience. And so your higher self sees it in a reality taking form in the third reality, in the material realm, because she has believed it since day one. There was no part of her that thought it was not possible, because she was already connected to that reality. And at an energetic level, it already exists. It's already done. And so your higher self knows, because I see it in my heart, in my eyes, minds. I feel it in my soul. I know it's real. And that's more real than the material realm. And to finish, that's what I mean by that. Your limited self feels secure when getting those things. And your unconscious and your higher self feels secure by tuning in the inner visions, the inner presence of those things, the energetic level of these things, the energetic texture. Because energy is the first step and the birthing of matter. Matter is the last step of the manifestation process. And so if it's the last step of the manifestation process, why would we use matter as a guiding direction if it's the last thing? We must use the source, what caused the matter to be real, and it's energy. So that concludes the Divine Alignment Masterclass, and I have something really exciting to share with you. So let me know, yes, in the comment, in the chat, if you're ready to answer the divine calling of this divine alignment. Marissa said, yes. Are you ready? Drop a yes in the comment if you're ready. Yes, yes, yes. Amazing. Yahoo! Great. So because I've heard the calling and I felt like all my clients were having the same problems, and all of them, including myself in the past, believed that I was the only person in the world experiencing that, and I was lost and alone and all of that, I decided to create a container that actually allows us to answer the divine calling and be connected to divine calling, that divine alignment, as part of who we are in our deepest core of our being. It's no longer separate. It's time to remember. And so I wanted to present to you Divine Calling. It's an 8-week group coaching program to release the unconscious roots, the causes of what is keeping you small right here, right now, so you can step into your most divine self and create your most magical reality. It's all about how can you step into your divine self, the tricks, the tips, everything you need to actually step into your most divine self and create your most magical reality. Because I could do free offers like this every week, but it really happens in the depth of our unconscious mind. And in a setting like this, it's much harder to do that. And so the reason I made this a group coaching program, and I wanted to be it that way, is that we often forget that we came here to heal as a whole. And this is a hard realization, another shift I had to realize that I didn't include in the slides, but I told you I could have put 20 of them. But one of the foundational pieces that made me who I am right now today is at one point in my journey, I realized the importance of doing healing with people that could support me, that had the energetic capacity, mental capacity to guide me. And not only that, investing in mentors and coaching one-on-one, but actually immersing myself and healing with fellow sisters, fellow brothers to experience that healing as a group. And the funny thing is that in the group coaching that I signed up on is where I met my boyfriend. So you never know, this is a woman only group, but maybe you will find your best friend, your soul made family in that group, which I did. Today, the 5 people that we're in, it's like we're like this, and one of them is my boyfriend, because we all heard the divine calling and went in it all the same time. Like there's no coincidence. And I experienced what it is to heal with people, to actually be seen, supported by other people on the same path, going in the same direction. And I kid you not, it's so powerful. It's nothing I've ever experienced before. Healing with other people that have the same vision, that want to create the same things. And because all of my one-on-one clients were coming to me for the same reason, I'm not kidding, literally it was the same thing. I was like, there's something in the air, and we're all ready to come back in sisterhood and our divine Creatrix powers so we can heal together. And to give you a quick rundown of what the Divine Calling program includes, it's 4 transmission calls. It's an 8-week program, so we will have weekly calls, meaning 8 calls during the 8 weeks. 4 of them are transmission calls, which is a little bit like this, where I deliver to you my experiences, my knowledge, the things that help me, the how-tos. It's the how-tos. So you don't have to think about the how-tos. You no longer have to stress about it. Your only job is to answer the divine calling and tune back into divine alignment. The how-to is taken care of, because I can guide you from where I am right now. You don't have to find the ways. You don't have to make the same mistakes I did and hit your head on the wall a couple of times before you actually get it, because I've done that for you. So you don't need to do it anymore. Actually, maybe you will have to at some degree, but not at the degree you would have to do it by yourself alone. And because I told you everything starts from your unconscious mind, then there will be 4 hot seat coaching calls where we heal together and I answer questions. We go deep into the programmings, the beliefs that are limiting you, and we play with that so we can transmute that energy, clear it out. And the beautiful thing when you do that in groups is that one person that's living something is creating the trail, the path for other people to come with her. So maybe you will not experience the same things at the same time during the same week. Maybe one of you will be experiencing this type of doubt, this one, that type of fear, whatever, this type of limitation. And because we're in the group coaching all together, and I'm going one by one and coaching you, all of you in the same call, we're opening the doors and the portals for all of us. We're healing something. When you heal something, you're healing for the people around you. And when you come into the Divine Calling program, it's not a coincidence. Just like I met my boyfriend and the people in my group, it was not a coincidence. We had chosen to come together and to meet in this LT realm at some moment. And we heard the call and followed the call, and divine alignment made it all work. So when you heal with those people, it's because your soul knows there's something to gain, something to discover about yourself with those people. And because we could talk about this, like if I could, like if we would not have to do things outside of healing and growing, I would have done like a full-on program where we meet every day. But I know people have commitments, people have work, we have all things to do, maybe in the future. And so there's also a 3-month workshop group coaching. During the 8 weeks, meaning the 2 months, you will have also access to me from Monday to Friday in the workshop group chat, where you can ask all your questions and I'm going to answer in real time during the whole program. And you'll also have 1 month of support after the program ends. And after that, there's like the tools, the practices, the exclusive hypnosis audios, the monthly workbooks that I'm going to give you in order for you to move the energy when you're in your own life by yourself. So you already have all the tools to get things moving. And for those who are here right now and watching the replay, I have really exclusive bonuses for you, because I told you, divine alignment, you heard the calling, you were here. The bonuses are the access to my Clear, Cancel, Delete masterclass. It's a masterclass on how to clear and release any limiting belief. And it's coming up in a few weeks in June. And so you will have free access to that. It's going to be part of the Divine Calling package. You will also have a free month in my membership that's launching in June, late June, July. Pretty sure June, but and the membership, it's going to have library audios of meditations, hypnosis for any kind of limitation you have, for any kind of fear situation, how to release stress, how to gain confidence, how to feel abundant. Anything you can think of, there will be an hypnosis or a meditation about that. So you can actually have the tools to do that on your own. And for the 2 next women, because there's already one of you who's has joined this group and I'm so excited. She heard the call real quick. Even before it was announced. And so there's 2 spots left for the 2 next women who sign up. I will give them 3 one-on-one coaching calls. So if there's something more specific that is not doable in sense of energy or intimacy in the group to address something specifically, you'll have 3 coaching calls one-on-one to address that, so we can go deeper into an unconscious reprogramming. During those calls, you'll have 1 for each month of the program and 1 that you can use either right after the program, or if you want to wait and see what comes up as you integrate all of it, you can use it whenever you want. So there's 2 spots left. And yeah, I'm going to drop the link here in the chat if you want to look at it, if you feel the call and want to join. Here's the link. Here you go. And there's different payment plans that you can do. And if you have any questions, you can email me at info@linamariagonzalez.com or DM me on Instagram. Feel free if you have any questions. If you also want to book a discovery call to talk about it, or if you have any questions, that's also available. If you want to, you can just go at any of my platforms in my stand store. There's a link to book a discovery call. So if you have any questions about that, it would be a pleasure to answer those questions. So thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy to be here with you today, and so excited about this energy, this group, like all the things that happened today. Imagine what is possible when we go deep in it and we actually have interactions, we can talk about it and how far we can go. Like 8 weeks seems like nothing, but we can create so much magic. So thank you so much. And before I go, So grateful. Yes, yes, yes. So grateful to have met you. Thank you so much. You're so welcome. I'm so happy to have you in my community and for you to have come here. And yeah, just before I go, thank you. Thank you guys. I feel it. Before I go, just a reminder, every day is an opportunity for you to create magic. Remember that. Every day is another opportunity to create magic. So I hope to see you soon. Maybe we'll see each other in the Divine Calling group. I really hope, because I love this group. I love this energy already. So I can imagine what it would be to go dive deep into it. And for those watching the replay, you will receive the link for that in the email. And you can also always email me at info@linamariagonzalez.com, or, as I said, book a discovery call. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you have a magical day. Bye.